Hey YouTube, I was sort of looking forward to this. Well, I was looking forward to this, and then I sort of wasn't looking forward to it, and now I'm not really sure. I'm in the middle somewhere. So, the Les Paul, which you know I've been had for a couple of months now, and not really played very much. Can't really get into it. Being my P90 guitar. Well, the thing is, I've already got a P90 guitar, my Aria Thor sound. So I'm going to do a shootout of which one's best. What happened was on Sunday, I looked that out. It's still got strings on it from. They're probably not 10 years old. They're elixirs, but they're 5 anyway, I think. And it's not particularly clean and all that. I ended up playing it all Sunday afternoon. If you're loving it. And it's like, I haven't yet had that with this. So I was going to put the two up. So basically what I've done is I've not even touched that one since Sunday. I think I played it in the live stream for a wee bit. And I've been playing this. And I thought, I'm going to give this a bit of a go. So I've been playing this for the last hour, just messing about with it. And I think I've kind of got the hang of it. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. To be honest, I think that's a keeper anyway, so it's really talking myself into whether I should be keeping this or what I should be doing with it. Options currently are, well, it's sanded, so I mean it works, it's mine and it's fine. Can't really just leave it sanded because it'll just get manky. It's fine just now, obviously, but once it starts, starts looking minging. So it needs to be minimum oiled or varnished. Then I could paint it anyway, minimum. Or I could paint it like a to-sell colour. Like if I was to oil the back, paint the top gold. Oh, it's a gold top. That's the one everyone wants. I've also got white pickups for it. White pickup covers and knobs came with it. Or do I paint all of it and then keep it? Paint it yellow? Yeah, not decided yet. I'm kind of playing it differently from most other guitars, just because of the way it sounds and feels. So I'm getting used to this, having it on, shooting from the hip sort of thing. But it seems really good for the kind of notey picky. As you can hear, I've got a wee bit of reverb on there. I've got my reverb pedal, more reverb pedal on, playing through the orange TH set. Even though there seems to be the amps have been multiplying recently. I've now got like a sort of T shape. Kind of reminds me of a KLF album cover of like wee amps that I've been messing about with. But it just seems to be really good for the sort of much more very different. It's kind of doing what a Strat or a Tele does, but with so much more beef in the bottom, but it's still got the jangle, so it's totally different. I mean, you can't do this with a humbucker guitar, you know. It's got almost an acoustic quality to it. I would actually maybe argue it's more like an acoustic timbre, there, use that word, than either a Strat or humbuckers. I've altered the switch. It was annoying me so much, and really all I had to, basically what happened was I hadn't tightened up that bolt enough when I threw it back together again so I could play it. So it was like a total 2-second job, so I won't be complaining about that. The strap button got pulled out earlier on, so I think basically I've got a wee, that's probably more of a Les Paul problem. I don't know if it just needs a bigger screw in it, or it's not a great angle for a strap to go on, so maybe a bigger strap button or a more of a hook thing, because you're kind of peeling it off when you're playing it. You know, on a Strat it's more, you know, more that angle where you're actually pulling against this. You're kind of pulling the screw out. I think that's a pretty common Les Paul fault. And the other thing that's been getting me is this bridge pickup, because I'm not used to it. It's I could really be doing putting a bigger spring, a stronger spring in there, which won't be a hassle at all. It's just a case of putting a stronger spring in, so it's not quite as bouncy. I was actually wondering if I could get an effect out it Okay, you can actually. Yeah, so there you go. You got a sort of built-in tremolo. Don't work as well for that one. But this is really good for that spaghetti western stuff, the Enrico Morricone stuff. Joyal British sound pedal on. I actually found, I remember doing a shootout between the El Cambo, which I think is a sort of modified tube screamer, and that, and although that one looks much cooler, I think I ended up going for the Joyal British sound one. Just because a little bit more, but it's still got that clarity of the notes with the P90s. Got a nice difference between the bridge and the neck sound as well. Sounds like the tone's on, but it ain't. I think maybe it's because the guitar feels a little bit more substantial. And maybe it feels a little bit more serious, maybe, than some guitars. So you kind of tend to play it a little bit gentler, or you can batter it. But it also works quite... Yeah, I was kind of doing that, so playing a sort of Neil Young type thing. I didn't do a very good backing track right now. The rain will remember falling. Yeah. Which is kind of weird, but this guitar, so I'm playing this guitar like that, and it's kind of maybe going a little bit more into the Neil Young territory, whereas that one I think of as my Tony Iommi guitar, so I've just playing Sabbath in that because it's kind of like a dirty looking SG type with P90s in it. So I'll try the Sabbath pedal. I'll try playing Sabbath in this one. Obviously the Rat's pretty Sabbath as it goes, but I'll try the other pedal as well. So. Oh, we're using the bridge pickup because I saw Sabbath and we're right in front of them, and Tony Iommi only ever used the bridge pickup. It's not feeling particularly Sabbathy. I wonder if it will sound it more. I'm going to have to swap over a second. Yeah, so there's my Sabbath pedal. Doesn't work there. This guitar's strength seems to be in the sort of more clean. What kind of music that is? I was kind of thinking Leonard Skinner for some reason. I think that's a country and westerny. Pretty good though, I do like it. So it's whether it's kind of swaying towards a just keep it thing, but I wonder how it'll do against this guitar, which is weird. As I said, I've not played since I put it up there on Sunday. I will have to tune it, I would imagine. Yeah, so this is the Aria Thor sound. So this is, I think this is thingy scale, Strat scale. One of the differences on it feels completely different. Yeah, so this is a 25.5-inch scale rather than the. And look, I'm wearing it on my hip like the Les Paul I was just playing, so it's not working. It sits there. Oh look, suddenly it does hang. Yeah, so Thor Sound TS never really been able to find out, but in the catalogue there is a TS300, which is obviously higher up in the range, so I'm going for this being a TS100 or a TS150 or something like that. Originally it had 2 single coil pickups, which I have replaced with P90s from a G&L, but it's like, was it the ASAP model, but the one that came with American pickups. My pal wanted to put the noiseless ones in, so these are actual comparable, I think, probably to the Gibson ones. If they were both the same price and someone was selling me a set of P90s, I'd probably take the Gibson ones, but just for the name of it, I've never actually AB'd the two of them together, but you know, they're similar sort of quality anyway. That's just full disclosure, this one's not all original. The tuners on these, because it's the cheapest one, I don't think were very good, so this has got like Wilkinson Grovers on it, whereas that one came stock with real Grovers. Also, the saddles that came on this are a funny shape. They're kind of cast and a bit broken, so this is not the original saddles. I don't think it's actually the original bridge. It's just basically a very simple one. It's through-strung like a telly, and it's made of sycamore or something. It doesn't really have any paint on it, and it's got a maple, a 3-piece maple neck, a really wide and thin one. So, but I really like this guitar, and then when I was trying to justify some way of keeping it, so I need to remember to note that these Wilkinson tuners are amazing, by the way. Like, as far as Grovers go, you get like expensive Grovers and cheaper Grovers. Like the ones you get on Epiphone Les Pauls, like the sort of Korean ones, are not the same quality. These are better quality. Already it sounds completely different. I do have the distortion. I'm going to go for clean first. So longer scale length, strings 5 years old, something like that. Much cheaper guitar. And that's in the middle position. It doesn't seem as hollow sounding as woody. Maybe that's the tone maple in the neck. Probably slightly higher tension, because these will be 10s on a 25-inch scale. So bridge pickup. Definitely the P90 thing is that picking chord and getting much more clarity between the notes. And you can hear the ones you make you're not holding down properly more. Neck. I'm kind of holding it on my hip again. It takes a while to get back used to, once you've been playing the Les Paul for an hour, to get back to holding the guitar properly. Although you can actually play it there, it's not too bad. But actually, this is on. There's no pedals on just now, so that's these pickups might be a bit closer to the strings. Maybe it seems to be going more distorted, not as clean as the Les Paul is. The old British sound. got a really weird profile and neck on this. It's really square. So it feels really flat and wide. It's definitely more of a Gibson fretboard than a Fender fretboard, but it's Fender scale and it's made of maple. It's got a... Still get the way it manages to retain that sort of high-end jangliness, even though I'm using power chords and with distortion when I'm in the middle position. Right. This makes seems to make the rat sound more like a fuzz pedal. And the Sabbath pedal, which is what I was kind of using this guitar for, because it's just got, it's actually a wee bit neck heavy now, I'm noticing it. What's it, high? It's kind of annoying, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's a better guitar than a Gibson Les Paul. Okay, it has had some modifications, but you can get the more expensive version. The TS, the Thor Sound series are, I don't know, made in the early 80s, and you get like a 300 and a 400, you get like a neck through one, all much fancier than this one. This is a pure basic as they had version. The most basic, just the 2 single coils, simple hard tail, bog standard, cheap tuners, but they spent the money on putting it together really well. I mean, it's just not even made of any sort of fancy wood, but it's got something that's given it that Sabbath. It's a really interesting neck shape as well. It's not really like any other guitar I've got, apart from I've got an Aria Laser series, which actually doesn't look, it's not entirely different shapes. It doesn't have the SG type carves on it. It's like if you imagine this shape but curved like a Stratocaster, kind of rounded in the edges, it's that shape. I think it's got a similar headstock. It doesn't seem quite as extreme as this, but I've not really seen any other guitars that have this sort of neck. I was like, the guitar's all neck. And it's got the most amazing bird's eye on the... In fact, I've got a funny feeling, is it not the bird's eye on the bottom, is the most of it? Look at that. You can really even see it there. It doesn't show up in these videos, but it's got the most amazing bird's eye there, which I wish was on this side. It's still got some bird's eye, but it's that 3-piece neck thing, which just makes it rock solid. And okay, it's a bolt-on neck, so there's quite a lot of tonal differences in the two guitars. I would definitely say it seems brighter and airier. Again, this has different pickups, even though they are P90s. There's definitely commonality between all P90s, I think. This one seems snappier. That seems sort of warmer. This has got really old strings on it, which you'd have thought would have made it less snappy. It's really dirty, which you'd have thought it made it less snappy. But I don't know, it seems to have more girth, the sound for that, or more for slow. This is better at the sort of fa. I don't know, something about the... Maybe it's just because it looks like an SG. Does that make a difference? It looks more like an SG than that does. That looks like a Les Paul. Or that looks more like an SG than a Strat, but yeah. But coming down to it, I mean, we're looking at, okay, that Les Paul I got for a special price because it had been sanded off. Okay, putting paint on it will make a slight difference to the sound, not very much. But if anything, not having paint on it, if anything makes it sound better, doesn't make it sound worse than having paint on it. We're talking about, you need a laser microscope to tell the difference. You can never be able to hear it. But so that one, and I got it really cheap. And this one, okay, I've modified it a bit by putting P90s in it for a start. So, but these guitars are not expensive if you can find one, even if it's not been. If you can find that, this one's relatively rare because it's the cheaper one, but you can get the TS 300 and the 500 and the 600 for not that much, and they go for way less than what any Gibson Les Paul will go for. So this is the bottom of the range one. So you're talking about the top of the range one goes for less than, from 1982, kind of goes for the same price as that would if it hadn't been sanded, kind of thing. And it's not going to do well in that situation. I mean, these pickups cost more than this guitar did, basically. But I acquired them jammily by fitting pickups to someone else's guitar, and because they put stacked pickups and had to route out the inside of the guitar, and I never charged them any extra money, so I think that's why he let me keep the pickups, because they were stacked. So P90 depth, stacked P90, because it's basically just got another coil in below it. But I do really like this. So that the battle is not over. I suppose I'll go back to it again. Guitars are fickle things. I'd probably say that one's probably slightly lighter than this. So is this going to feel really comfy when I put it back on again? Again, I'm now I'm holding it on the right hand side again. It's like it doesn't sit like that. It's not possible. It's got to be like that. Yeah. This is better to play. It's a better guitar. So I didn't really notice it when I went from the Les Paul to this. There might be something to do with the fact it's finishing the neck, but it's a nicer. I like this neck profile much better than what's on that. Sound wise, I think basically, see, I just rolled the tone off a little bit. Kind of made it sound like that. Yeah, so maybe it's all a mood thing, or it's like, is it the championing the underdog all the way? But I suppose, I mean, one of the things I like about that particular Les Paul is the fact it is the pure underdog one. You know, it's I've got a Les Paul. Is it a Gibson one? Yeah, I've got a Gibson one. I'm betting it's one of the 50s tribute ones, not a real one. I've got an Epiphone Les Paul standard, and that's the standard. You've just got the cheap one that doesn't have binding on it, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I kind of like that. As far as Les Pauls go, this is one of my favourite ones I've ever played. But I mean, it's a totally amazing guitar. It's fantastic. We're now way up above it's not very good. You know, I mean, my niggle's coming down to putting a stronger spring. There's nothing to say that the springs that are in this were the original ones from the guitar. Maybe Gibson had a stronger spring and somebody took it out and it pinged and they put in a weaker spring. Just that's not an issue. And this whole not having a big enough strap button, just put a strap lock on it. Sorted. But it's got the weight thing nailed where it's not pure, it's not sore to play. The P90 thing, I don't know. It's got the lot. It's the Les Paul for somebody who doesn't really like Les Pauls. So as usual, I'm no further forward on whether I'm keeping this or whether it's getting done up and sold. It's how much money I would get for it if I just did something boring with it, just made it a gold top. You know, it's like, I don't know. I'd probably double my money on the guitar, but then I can't really be bored. Painting's not an enjoyable thing. Or just rub oil into it and just sell it. I don't know. Decisions.